What's up? Welcome back to the TSF Entertainment Channel. It's your boy Retro CG, and I am joined tonight by DJ Fresh, Your Highness in the building. What's up, brother?
Yo, 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 what's going on, bro?
Ain't that much, brother. How was your week? How's your week going so far?
That's a long story, just like this long week.
I know, right? It seems like it
This
takes
week,
forever
man.
for Friday to get.
This week is long. I can't wait till tomorrow. This is one time I'm looking forward to a Friday.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What we talking about tonight?
Tonight we got Diddy versus JD.
Diddy versus JD. All right. We're going to talk about this thing. We're going to hit y'all with that intro real quick, and we'll be back to talk about it. And welcome back to the channel. I'm kind of excited about talking about this topic right here. This is a tough one for me right here. Diddy, Jermaine Dupri. Oh man,
Very tough.
Choose one.
Very, very tough.
It's a very tough one. It's a very tough one. I will say this: Diddy has more artists. He samples a lot. Jermaine Dupri is better at producing his own original music. I mean, he's done some sampling too, but you know, Diddy's kind of like the king of sampling. But man,
I mean,
you might be able to sway me, but for now, I'm going with Team Diddy.
Same here.
Okay.
Same here. I mean, I guess it would depend on the categories. Like, you would literally have to like break them down because it's like different categories to say who's better. But I would probably say
Retro,
overall.
I see you in the chat. Who's your pick? I'm assuming it's JD.
Yeah, I'm assuming he picking JD if he making it.
I'm assuming it's JD.
Yeah, man. I think it's tough. I would probably say overall though. Although JD got that what's that a word? Wood ass cat, I think it's called.
Okay.
Overall, I would still have to go Diddy. Diddy just got way too. He done made too many big artists compared to JD.
Yeah, they kind of had similar their careers. They kind of started out very similarly. Both of them were like record executives before they started their own labels. Diddy was what was he like? The vice president or something over there at Uptown.
Uptown. I thought Diddy was an A&R.
I think he started out as A&R. I think he started out as A&R, and I think he went to like talent director or something like that. But I think overall, before he left Uptown, I think he was like vice president or something like that.
It might have been. He might have been. I can't remember, but I think he might have been.
But to me, that's some of his best work. I'm not gonna say some of his best work, but I'm gonna say that was some of the work that jump started his career and got him to where he was. Yeah, he started out as A&R. I think that's some of his work that really kind of shaped and molded him as a producer. So let's talk about the difference between Diddy's producing versus JD. JD's more hands-on with instruments and, you know, creating and making beats. Diddy's more so kind of like a...
Diddy was the DJ Khaled before DJ Khaled. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about it. That's literally what he was. That's literally what he is. I mean, as far as I know, he's always been the executive producer. Like, he'll go grab the producer, hey, I need this, and then he just mesh it together. Like, I don't think if he has done something like JD where he's actually made a beat, I don't know what that song is. I
I
ain't
don't
never
either.
heard of it.
I don't either, and it's funny you should say that because that's exactly what I was just getting ready to say. Like, there's different types of producers. I mean, you can be credited as a producer just by saying, you know what, I want to kick here,
Yep.
change the 808 out here, put a snare in here, so
Here.
you can be a producer and be hands-on and create your sound, but you can also be a producer or credited as a producer just by contributing to the song, whether that's writing it, arranging it, engineering it. Yeah. So, but I think Diddy's catalog, I mean, well, both of them got a real.
Go ahead, though.
Both of them got a killer catalog, though.
Both of them definitely got a catalog.
And we're talking about Diddy's album, what went No Way Out, with 7 times platinum. I mean, that's some star power.
Right? I thought it went 5, but maybe it has gone 7 since then.
Platinum.
I mean, either way, it still went platinum. Whereas
Diddy was the delegator. Yeah,
exactly. Diddy was the delegator.
King Retro, I'll give you that. Bow Wow was Mr. 106 in Park for some years.
We're gonna get into Bow Wow later on down the line. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking solo work, like just Diddy albums, then yeah, Diddy's solo work is of course better than Jermaine Dupri albums.
I agree.
I'm trying to think. I think Diddy got 1, 2, 3. I think he got 3 solo joints, and I think Jermaine Dupri got 2.
But I think the thing with Diddy and Jermaine Dupri kind of did the same thing. What was 1472?
Yeah, 1472, and I can't remember the name of the second album. I think it's called Instructions or something like
Instructions,
that.
It is. Yeah. It's Instructions. Diddy had a lot of collabs on his albums, a lot of features. Jermaine Dupri did too. So it's kind of, you can't say one did a whole album without any features and not any collabs. But JD did have Usher, but Diddy did too. So I mean,
Diddy had Usher before, before he even got to JD.
Yeah. So I mean,
way before.
Next, King Retro. Next, he had
like
Usher
Diddy
too.
was the one who kicked off Usher's career in '94.
That's right. That's right. I mean, and then you got to think about it. Diddy has a little bit more longevity in the game than JD. I mean, Diddy's career starts out in early 90s, 1990, 91, somewhere around that time point with Jodeci. With Jodeci. I mean, you come out the start gate with Jodeci. Yo, that's hard.
With Jodeci. I mean, yeah, he jumped out. I mean, a lot of those people.
Hey, Miss
Honey. I mean, he did a lot. I mean, you got
JD like, had a better Usher. You're a hater, dude.
He did. I mean, he had Jodeci, and this is even before Bad Boy. He had Jodeci. He had Mary J. He was working with Heavy D.
Mac, I'm pretty sure No Way Out did go triple platinum. I'm pretty sure. I'm tempted.
I'm like almost like 99% sure it went triple. I want to say it went 5 times, but I could be wrong.
According to Wikipedia, 7 times platinum.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Wow. 112 is definitely in Diddy's cap, Miss Honey.
Yeah, that's Bad Boy.
That's Bad Boy right there.
That was Bad Boy.
Yeah. JD definitely had better Usher. Confessions, nothing else left to say. Confessions was a great album. I'm not going to even front. Confessions was a great album. But you got to think about it. Usher could have been just as big of a hit. Well, actually, before we got Confessions, we got My Way. My Way was a pretty good album.
Yeah, that was JD.
Yeah, that was JD too. I think that was his starting point with Usher's career.
Yeah, that was his starting point. And then what was it? 8701?
8701.
I'm trying to think. Did JD produce on 8701?
He may have did a couple of songs on 8701.
I don't think any of the singles.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the singles. I think he just did whatchamacallit.
He may have done You Got It Bad.
That's
He
possible.
may have done You Got It Bad. Confessions was probably, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between Confessions and My Way. Both of them were pretty good albums.
I got Confessions.
And they were different versions of Usher, just like when Diddy had Usher. When Diddy had Usher, he was more R&B. You know, he didn't really have any
Yeah.
dance records. He really didn't have any. I mean, he has some good singles on Usher. I think that was a self-titled album.
Yeah.
Usher. He has some good. Can You Get With It? The Many Ways. I mean, he had some good songs on that album, but he didn't really start his dance record crossover pop type vibe until he got over there with JD. So JD did do some good things for Usher's career. I won't take that away from you, King Retro, but there's so many artists.
Yeah.
Who do
I
you
will say this? Go ahead.
Who do you think had the better groups?
Oh, that's easy, Bad Boy.
This thing in the categories.
That's easy.
Put this thing in the categories.
It's easy. And anybody who say anything other than Diddy, they are lying to themselves. So just stop it.
I have to agree.
Like, just stop it, because I can name one group alone. Ain't nobody JD had. Like
Brian Michael Cox, you're right, Mac. Yeah. He did a lot of songs for Usher too.
Yeah, he wrote a lot for Usher too,
and produced.
But
he did some joints over there at Bad Boy too, because I think he did Day 26 first whole album.
I believe he did. I believe he did. But who JD don't have a Jodeci?
The closest, I mean, I don't even say the closest. I mean, because Jagged Edge and Jodeci are not compared. You can't compare those two. You would compare Jagged Edge more with 112 than you would.
112 was better.
You're right. So, JD didn't have his Jodeci. What you got to say about that, King Retro?
Yeah, JD didn't have no Jodeci. So
he didn't have no mirror either.
I will give the nod to JD with Escape over Total.
I'll agree.
I'll give him that nod.
Escape was definitely a better group in Total.
I'm trying to think of more, and then I mean JD, the only other group I could think of that he had was Criss Cross. And I don't like JD didn't really, when you think about it, and that's why I say Diddy got
okay. Mike Mack says Escape is their Jodeci. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Hell no, bro.
Sir.
Come on now.
Sir.
Nah, bro.
Now, I'll give you this.
Escape ain't even got that many hits as Jodeci.
But I can see why he's saying that, though. I can kind of see why he's saying that, because in comparison to Escape and Total, there was not that much talent in Total as it was in Escape. With Escape, you had Candy Burrs, who does writing, producing, and she's not that strong of a singer, but she was good on the production side.
Yeah.
Latasha Scott, she was a talent in Escape.
Yeah.
All those girls really could sing, with the exception of Candy. I mean, she wasn't that strong of a vocalist, but neither was Total.
Candy could sing, though, and so many people just did not know that she could really sing.
But you go back to Jodeci, there was a lot of talent in Jodeci as well, with Casey and JoJo. So I could see that comparison that, these groups where Candy didn't really do too good on her solo career. Latasha Scott didn't really do, none of the girls really did good on solo careers. JoJo and Casey, they did good on a solo career.
JD don't have a locks.
He doesn't have a locks. And don't say Franchise Boys. And do not
Hell.
To the locks.
The locks.
No. Not nowhere near.
I didn't even see Miss Honey. Marlon Winans and Carl Thomas, both great albums, but couldn't repeat.
Carl Thomas' first album, definitely for sure.
Yeah, Emotional was definitely dope.
Yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan of his follow-up albums, but that first album was
album was dope.
Yeah, that first album was fire.
Yeah, Mario, and it's crazy. Mario Winans' album could have been classic if Diddy didn't steal both of his hits.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have took I Need a Girl Part 1 and 2, that was
that would have been monumental for his album.
That was
probably
supposed to be on his album.
That would have took his album platinum right there. But I think Mario Winans was probably a better producer than singer. I mean, he had talent.
Yeah.
But I think he was a better on the backside of things than being an artist.
Yeah.
He didn't really have what it takes to be a solo artist. You know, just an arranger, a producer, yeah, but not an artist. Okay. A lot of people will say Mariah Carey, but Diddy also did work for Mariah Carey as well. So
damn sure did.
Yeah.
Like Diddy was responsible for her big comeback.
Yeah. JD made some hits for her. I ain't gonna lie. JD did great on her album.
But okay, off the top of my head, I can only think of.
Maybe. You say Diddy don't have a Bow Wow? Mace.
I was about to say that same thing.
Mace.
But I don't know though, because trying to compare Bow Wow albums to Mace, but Mace only got 2. And I think Bow Wow got like what, at least like 5 on So Def.
Bow Wow takes the lead on having more albums.
Before I get into whatchamacallit, we could just go for the jugular. JD don't have a biggie.
JD don't have a biggie.
Like if we want to keep doing this, like come on, man. Like JD don't have a biggie. If we want to go for the jugular, JD don't have a biggie. But
JD don't got Ciroc either, or Sean John. So
dang. King Retro, you made me forget my train of thought now. I forgot what I was talking about. Damn, who was we talking about? Oh, okay, yeah, Mariah. So with Mariah, I mean, I can only think off the top of my head, I can only think of 3 big hits that JD did for her though. Which was, I think it was We Belong Together.
Yep. I don't know if that was JD. Was that Brian Michael Cox?
It might have been. I'm trying to think of the club joint that he made, that he's on. It's like that, y'all. And it was another ballad.
Let me see something. I think you got We Belong Together.
Yeah. It's like that.
I know she did a song on his album. I think it was Sweetheart. Let's see.
No, that was actually her song.
Sweetheart.
Yeah. So that's 3.
Ooh.
That's 3.
Let's see.
I was about to say I would pull it up in my Serato, but I don't feel like going through the hassle of opening Serato up.
Shake It Off. I think he did Shake It Off.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Shake It Off.
But I mean, were any of those bigger than Honey?
And Diddy did the original and the remix. The remix was better than the original.
Did he do? He didn't. No, I don't think he did the joint with. No, because Fantasy, that was before she crossed over. That's before she. Yeah.
She was regular Mariah Carey then.
Yeah, she was regular Mariah back then.
Yeah, she was a regular Mariah Carey then.
Yeah, she was regular Mariah Carey.
JD doesn't have a Faith Evans. Yes, Miss Honey.
Exactly. He does not
have a Faith Evans.
JD
Nowhere close.
He does not.
Nowhere close.
He does not have a Faith Evans.
The girls about to escape to even come close to touching Faith Evans.
I feel like he had a solo female artist. I just don't know who the hell it was.
Let's just take a look and see. Let's just look at his roster real quick and see what he got.
Like I mean, I feel like he did. It just wasn't people that blew up to. I can say like this though. Diddy had at least more well-known name artists than So Def. Because like I can blurt out the name right now. People are like, who the hell is that? Unless you really knew So Def, and that was ROC. That was Rock. You wouldn't even know, like, who the hell is that?
He did do some songs for Destiny's Child, Monica. I guess Monica would be his Faith Evans, but still, Faith Evans takes.
Not comparing Monica.
Yeah, no, I'm not comparing Monica to Faith Evans at all. She would come the closest. Did he do Kelly Price? Did he do Kelly Price?
Kelly. I don't think he did, but it's
Maybe a
possible.
song or two for her, maybe. Uh,
That's who it was, Mike Mack. Dondria.
Dondria, yes.
But who is she?
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you say it now, like,
Wait a minute. He had Tamia. Didn't he do work for Tamia?
JD?
Yeah, she wasn't on So Deaf, but I think he did maybe one of her albums. I think it was the second album she was on. The joint with Red Cafe on it. I think he might have done some work for her on that album. But still, Faith Evans is Faith Evans, so you can't really compare. You're right. Who do you think? Well, I can't even give him this because I mean he did do some good remixes. But I still think Diddy takes the crown with the remixes.
Diddy takes the crown, and I can tell you how Diddy takes the crown. Because Diddy was the one, first of all, he started that way back at Uptown with the remixes. But I want to say, I can't remember when it was, I can't remember the year, but I think it was around, 05 when Diddy put out, I think it was Diddy that put out his album, his remix joint first. And I think his joint said, I invented the remix. And then JD put out a joint. What was his? This is the remix or something like that. I can't remember, but either way,
that tells you everything right there.
Yeah, that tells you everything right there. Like Diddy got way better remixes than JD. Period. Because at least with Diddy remixes, it wasn't the same beat used.
Yeah.
With JD, as far as I can remember, it was the same beat being used, and they just had different artists on it.
Well, that's the thing about JD. A lot of his production had the same DNA in it, built around the same 808. Changed out a little bit, switched up the tempo a little bit. But he still did some good work. I'm not going to take that away from him. And the crazy part about it is both of them work with a lot of the same artists, and both of them did good for all the artists they work with. Because wasn't Mace on a JD joint on 14?
Yeah, he was up there. He was definitely up there. So Mike Mack, you're right. I forgot about Harlem World being signed to So Def too, but they was one hit wonder.
Yeah. Did they even put anything out on So Def?
They did. Their first album.
Really?
Yeah, Harlem World first album was on So Def.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on So Def.
But did he work with the Isley Brothers? I mean, the Isley Brothers. Yo, that's crazy. Diddy is he's got quite a he's got quite the roster as far as artists that he's collabed with and worked with. Both of them were good at discovering talent. I mean, JD's probably best known for jumpstarting Lil Bow Wow's career, so I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But in respects to Diddy, did this kind of like on a regular. It was almost to be expected or to be looked for who's Diddy's next big artist. Because I mean, he took people that probably wouldn't have been able to make it in the industry on their own and made them an overnight celebrity. I mean, look what he did with Making the Band.
That's true. Steezo's stuff on if so, I was too. Steezo, that name sounds extremely familiar.
I remember Steezo. What's up, bro? It's crazy though because JD is more of a. He's not really in the limelight as much as Diddy was. Diddy was all up in the videos and Diddy was all on the artist records. Even if he wasn't rapping on it or anything, he had to do his little ad libs and stuff on the records.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how Diddy has progressed over the years because, I mean, he's branched off into other things to support his brands. But there was a period of time where there was a lot of controversy centered around Diddy. We all know what that was related to.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like almost taboo for artists over at Bad Boy for the longest because he had some really good acts over there at Bad Boy. Bad Boy was the shit. But I think Diddy's ego and his rise to fame happening overnight, because as soon as he left Uptown and started Bad Boy, I mean, he took off. I mean, in his first,
well, he didn't take off right away. It took him a minute.
Nah, he took off when he released Biggie's joint. So I mean, it was.
You mean as overall? Because I was about to say he kind of took off, gained the traction with Craig Mack.
Well, and Mary J. Blige. I mean, because that work he did on What's the 401, that kind of shaped, it molded his career a little bit. But I'm talking about as far as the label itself.
Okay, gotcha.
Biggie was kind of like the anchor for that label, and I think if it wasn't for Biggie, I don't know if Bad Boy would have been as a huge act as it became. But just about everyone that was signed to the label had issues, whether it was money related, whether it was their royalties, whether it was their masters. It was something that every artist that was signed to Bad Boy, it was kind of like taboo for the longest, that every artist that, I mean, you have some artists that over there that came out with really good first albums and never heard anything else from them.
Well, I mean, that's... Hold on.
Yeah, Biggie and Craig Mack, yeah. Talk about Diddy's a slumlord. No, he's not.
Nah, Diddy... You know what was funny? I used to say the same thing about Diddy. I used to be like, man, Diddy robbing these folks, etc., whatever. What opened up my eye and realized it was when he did the Making a Band joint. And how you saw them when they finally got the album dropped. You saw them get all that success. Then when it was time to do the second joint, to start recording, ain't nobody want to do the work. Everybody was, we here now.
Because they was gassed up off of that. They were gassed up off of that.
And I think that's what happened with a lot of the whatchamacallits. Like they got the success, and then
JD made great skate music. And being from the South, you would think that I would rock with JD. Don't get me wrong, I love his work. I love a lot of his artists. I mean, the Brat. Diddy didn't have the Brat. I'll give him that.
I could, but but she wasn't technically signed to Bad Boy.
Who?
And that was Lil' Kim. Because he did Lil'
Bad Boy. She's still part of the fam, though. She
did Lil' Kim first album.
Yeah, she's still part of the fam. So Junior Mafia, Lil' Kim, they Bad Boy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He did Lil' Kim first album.
Well, I stand corrected on that. Then I stand corrected because
if I'm mistaken, I think he did the second one. I think he did Notorious K.I.M. and then that's when she started this. Matter of fact, he did because that's when she started to shift away from Diddy.
Did he do? He did do her first album, right? Because he was in the joint.
He was in No Time. He also helped. He also did with the second one, and that's when after that one they started to part ways because she didn't want to go his route no more.
Yeah, because I think she did just about all his remixes for a point in time. She was just about in all of his remixes.
So definitely,
I'm not sure Ludacris was on So Def. Disturbing the Peace. What was he? Def Jam?
Yeah, he was Def Jam, Disturbing the Peace.
Def Jam. Yeah.
Retro. I won't necessarily say he screwed the locks per se. I won't say that. I mean, he could have handled that better, which is why they went back and forth. But I can't necessarily say he screwed the locks.
Because if it wasn't for Diddy, I don't think that the Locks would have been a big act as they grew to become if he hadn't done their first album. If they never done their first album over there at Bad Boy, I don't think that the Locks would have been as well known as they are now.
So Def artists all did not flourish. They did not, with the exception of Bow Wow. Because after the Brat, let's see, we go down the line. After the Brat's first album, tell I can name them, but tell me what hits you remember from the second album that she put out, the third album she put out on So Def. We can go down the line. Even with Crisscross, most people remember them for Jump.
And that's
Once they get to the second and third album, a lot of people don't remember. We Can Go to Escape.
Same. I was going to say same thing with Escape.
By the time after the second album, you don't remember nothing.
Really, the second album outperformed the first. The first
Yeah.
got them on the map, but the second album is really what made them platinum. That third album, they had a single or two on it, and that was it. And then they just disappeared. But again, they had more internal issues as a group than they did with their producer. Now, there is a rumor that JD and Candy Burris had a relationship going on, and a lot of the girls didn't like that, which probably contributed to a lot of their inner turmoil. But as far as him making them their careers, nah, I think Diddy had more artists.
I mean, now if you put Usher, if you want to say Usher, then yeah, okay, I got you.
After Unrestricted, and even with Unrestricted, I mean, she only had that joint with Tyrese on it, and maybe another song or two on Unrestricted.
But that's what I'm saying. What was this? What was the big hit from Unrestricted?
What you like? That's it.
King Retro. I could go into that because Mace is lying about that whole situation. I'll go into that whole thing. He's lying about that, so it's definitely not.
Warm It Up was good. Warm It Up was good, but
what'd they say? With that being said, how many bad boy artists had solid and legit second albums? Okay,
let's go down that road.
Let's go, because I can.
Let's go.
I mean, now that is a good.
Let's start at the starting gate. 112.
Definitely 112.
Faith Evans.
Total second album. Although that was their last, I think, was still dope.
Faith Evans.
Yep, Faith. Biggie second album.
Biggie.
I'm trying to think who the hell else. I mean, if we want to get technical, we could put Lil Kim in that joint. If we want to get technical, we could put Mary J second joint.
Yeah, because he did What's the 411 and My Life. He did My Life.
Yeah, if you want to get technical. I'm trying to think of all the bad boy artists just off the top without the list in front of them. Yeah, it's so many of them joints.
Let's see. Mary J. Blige, What's the 411? Let's see. Notorious Big. Faith Evans, definitely. I guess I'll give total that.
Definitely won May's second album because May's second album was trash. But even still, with that being said, though, although I give it to you, So Def had they might have legit
Diddy himself. Don't forget
he put Diddy himself
in his albums. I mean,
Diddy himself. But still, though, with that being said, though, you still got to think they were solid and legit. But do you remember the hits off of the second album? Is the problem? Like, you can't, with the exception of Bow Wow, Jagged Edge. There's like I said, I remember Unrestricted, and the single off of that joint was Sitting on Top of the World, where he sampled the Rick James joint.
Is another artist I'm thinking about. I can't think of what the name of it is. Because, I mean, well, I guess you could say JD had crossover artists as well. He had crossover artists too, but Diddy did too. Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. Okay, name the my bad, I ain't mean to cut you off. Name the people Facebook user, because I want to know. I want to know who's these people. There's so many. I would love to know. Nah, Craig Mack never had a second album on.
Not on Bad Boy.
Not on Bad Boy.
All right, no. Xavier. Good vote, Xavier. Because
I would say as a businessman, I respect JD more.
Listen, Xavier, you about to have some problems with the family if you voted against the family. You part of the family, so you got to vote for Diddy. But I agree. As a businessman, well, I can't necessarily agree with that comment. I mean, I understand what you're saying. JD was a great businessman, but Diddy also was too. I mean, Diddy was temperamental. Speaking from another temperamental person doesn't mean I make bad business decisions because I'm temperamental. Diddy's biggest issue was his ego and the fact that he felt like the world should flock around him. But Diddy did great business. I mean, he had a sustainable clothing line for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Ciroc. I mean,
I think he's saying as far as like, you know, with the artists.
Yeah, I think he did better business with the artists, and I think he did a better job as far as letting the artists get what they needed to get out of their music, as far as their masters and making sure that they were compensated for it. Whereas Diddy, Diddy was quickly, red tape, fine print, and also making sure that he's credited in a lot of their songs.
Yeah.
So I will agree that JD was probably a better person to develop his artists a little bit better.
Yeah. We didn't forget about Usher's catalog. We said Usher's catalog. We're talking about that's why I said we said Usher's catalog. We said.
But Diddy, I want to know who this Facebook user is, because
I would love to know too. But like we then said that, but that's why we said Mary J.
Usher is not exclusive to JD, so he's a shared artist.
He wasn't So Def.
Yeah,
we're talking about strictly Bad Boy and So Def.
Yeah.
But if we want to get technical, we can say that. We can say Usher, okay, the same way we could say for Diddy, we could say Mary J,
Mariah Carey,
Jodeci's second album.
What's up, Ray Shaw? How you doing, bro?
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like we could go that route. So, ooh, that's tough.
So who has the biggest hits? Oh man. All right. I'm going to start with 1991. Jodeci, Come and Talk to Me remix.
Yep.
Major hit. Still played it today.
I'm going Diddy.
Xavier Jermaine Dupri did Confessions, but that doesn't mean he wins.
Yeah, if that's the case, I would say Diddy wins alone off Biggie album. So I can't say that.
Yeah, he wins alone off Biggie's first album. Okay, we're supposed to be naming the hits. We're supposed to be naming the hits. Okay.
I mean, I can name them off the top of my head.
Let me see. That joint with Mary J. Blige and Craig Mack. Real Love. Reminisce. One More Chance. Juicy. Big Papa. Who Shot You?
You got
My Life.
Damn.
Hold
on. I'm trying to think of Craig Mack.
He did a lot of back then. You have to also look at Diddy did a lot of soundtracks. His artists did a lot of soundtracks. Now, So Def artists, they did some soundtracks or whatever, but Diddy, there wasn't a soundtrack that was out at that era that Diddy didn't have an artist on. I mean, because you got The Show, that joint he did with Mary J. Blige, Every Day It Rains.
Yeah.
Faith Evans, Ain't Nobody.
Thanks, Mike.
That whole first album, I mean, that whole first album was a hit.
All right, we about to get into it because, like I said, I can name them joints off the top of my head. So you did that. You did the Biggie joint, Faith joint. You got damn, what's the joint that I remember? You Used to Love Me joint. Soon As I Come Home, you go into Mace. You got Feel So Good. You got 24 Hours to Live. You got
More Money, More Problems.
What's the joint that he did with Total? The joint Mace did.
Can't you see? Oh no, I know what song you're talking about. I'm about to tell you in a minute.
Yeah, to Tell Me What You Want From Me joint. Then you could go to Total. You got the Can't You See?
Victory. Been Around the World. All About the Benjamins.
You got the Kissing You. You got Money, Power, Respect.
Money, Power, Respect.
Like, then you go on to Biggie. You got Hypnotize. Going to Black Rob.
One More Chance. Black Rob Road. G-Dep. Special Delivery.
What was the joint? What was the joint with the joint with G-Dep and P Diddy and Black Rob?
Black Rob, yep. Was it what's that joint he did for LL Cool J? Oh shoot.
Diddy?
Yeah.
I don't remember no joint he did for LL.
It was on that album that was terrible for LL Cool J. That joint with Head Sprung on it. It was not Head Sprung. Timberland did that, but it's on that album. I can't think of the name of it right now.
You talking about the Imagine That joint?
Maybe.
But like I said, then you go into that era. Then you go into Shine with Bad Boys, Bonnie and Clyde.
I know what girls like. Jay-Z.
I know
what girls like. Lil Kim. Puffy was in that song.
You got No Time. You got what was the joint? You know, I Need a Girl, part 1 and 2.
Satisfy You. Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
Yeah, we did Whoa Black Rob.
Black Rob.
Okay, so if you go to So Def, Bow Wow's gonna take up most of them hits.
Right.
Bow Wow's gonna take up the bulk of their hits.
Well, you get Funkified for the Brat. You get Funkified.
He did, but still, at the end of the day, Bow Wow's gonna take the bulk of them hits.
Yeah.
I still got Diddy because even if we're
talking I don't know. You got Confessions.
Yeah,
album. But it's a whole album of hits. Oh, okay. Let me see. Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge is gonna take a bulk of the hits too. I think he might have did that joint with Ludacris, Welcome to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Mariah Carey, possibly We Belong Together. I think he did some joints for Monica.
He did. But the thing is though, who hits are bigger or still get I can tell you want how I can tell you is Diddy, because a lot more of his joints get played more on the radio than JD's joints does.
Right now.
You're more than likely to hear One More Chance or what was the joint? What's the other Biggie joint? I can't even think of it.
Miss Honey, about Lose My Ish of Hits, bro. Come on right now. Oh, that's your joint.
Hey, Miss Honey, that's my joint too. But you'll most likely you'll hear those before you hear Welcome to Atlanta, Lean With It, Rock With It. You'll hear Flavor in your ear.
Yeah.
Way before you hear
One More Chance. One More Chance.
One More Chance before you hear Bow Wow song.
Juicy.
So that's where I would lean towards. I'm leaning towards Diddy. It's now who wrote more hits? JD. I will give you that.
Oh yeah. JD definitely wrote more hits. And but who had the better production team? Diddy had some fire over there at Bad Boy Studios.
It was definitely Diddy had better. Although I still have to give more respect and the nod to JD, because he was the one who produced it by himself.
That's
a lot
true.
More of their albums. However, them Hitmen. It still blew my mind when I found out
their resume. It is hard to stack up against their resume.
Like, it still blew my mind when I found out Stevie J made Notorious Thugs.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We knew that this one was going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
To be honest with you, they're almost equal, but I'm going to say Diddy kind of weighs in a little heavier. JD definitely has some great projects, great talent. There's been a lot of talent that has went in and out of Bad Boy. There's been a lot of talent that's went in and out of So Def. But longevity, career-wise, artistry, I'm going to give that to Diddy. Even though these artists are still not around and not signed to Bad Boy right now, but a majority of these artists that are around on So Def are still not signed to So Def either, not making music or hits. Exactly. So, at least with Diddy's roster, 112 can come back right now with a hit. Faith Evans can come back right now with a hit. Mary J. Blige can come back right now with a hit. So these artists, Escape has been back out for a minute now trying to do their thing, and they ain't had a hit since they've been back out.
Miss Honey says
Lil Bow Wow ain't had a hit in forever, and he was Mr. 106 Park.
Do y'all know any JD hits outside of Confessions of Bow Wow? Oh yeah, most definitely. JD had Money Anything.
Yeah.
Like you said, he had a joint with Brat, Funkified, Give It To You.
Jagged Edge. I mean, all
Jagged
his
Edge.
especially that first album.
Let's
That
Get
first
Married.
second album, fire.
The joint that he did with Nelly. Where the Party at?
He did a song with Janet Jackson. Don't forget, he did some stuff for Janet Jackson. Those were hits. I can't think of the names of them right now. I think maybe
he
one
said
of them.
Jagged Edge Never Stop.
Discipline might have been. I think he did Monica First Night.
He did Monica's First Night.
Darnell Jones, I think he did some joints for him. And he might have even done Chingy. I think he might have did something for Chingy.
Yeah, he did. He did the joint. He did the joint that he did with Tyrese. He did the joint that Chingy did with Tyrese.
Pulling Me Back.
Yeah, he did Pulling Me Back.
I think he did some joints for the Isley Brothers too, but Float On was a better hit with Puffy.
I guess. Damn, you know what? I forgot.
He might have even done a Chris Brown joint too, though.
Nah, he ain't do. Not that I could think of, but I forgot about
on that first album. I think he might have did a song on that first album.
What's the
Drew Hill? He did that In My Bed remix by Drew Hill. That was a hit.
What's the joint? The Down South joint he did.
8-Ball MJG. That was Bad Boy.
Nah, that was Bad Boy. Damn, I forgot about them. But it was the joint when it was the he did the Miami bass record joint.
Oh, you talking about with Trina and
it's like right at the tip of my tongue. The Ghost Town DJs joint.
Okay, Mabu.
Yep.
Didn't he do something for Twister? I think he did something for Twister.
He might have. Oh damn! You know who else I forgot? I forgot he had Bone Crusher.
And he did some joints for Lil Jon. But Lil Jon did most of his own work, but I think JD did some
damn!
stuff.
You know what? I forgot about a perfect person, and I don't know how he slipped my mind. Anthony Hamilton.
Anthony Hamilton. Anthony Hamilton is good, but we're talking about kind of almost like neo soul-ish.
But he still got
R&B.
But he's like the current person.
I don't think he takes Carl Thomas.
Yeah, bro. He takes Carl Thomas.
Bro. I don't think he takes Carl Thomas.
He takes Carl Thomas, bro.
No, he does not take Carl Thomas.
Yeah, he takes Carl Thomas.
What are you talking about, bro?
He definitely takes Carl Thomas, bro.
Nah, Anthony Hamilton don't take Carl Thomas. I'm sorry.
He takes Carl Thomas. He definitely does take Carl Thomas. I mean,
now I'll give it to you. That first album, Charlene on that joint with Charlene.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That first album was great. Young Bloods, he did have Young Bloods, but they weren't really big hit makers. They were big.
Yeah, but Young Blood hits didn't come from JD. They came from Lil Jon.
Lil Jon, yeah. We know Bow Wow. Alicia Keys. Didn't he do some joints for Alicia Keys?
Yeah, he did. I think he did like 2 joints on Alicia Keys' first album. Oh, damn. You know what? I mean, well, he only did like a couple of joints. I think he only did like 2 with Hove.
Diddy did music with Hove too, though.
He did like 2 with Hove. I mean, yeah, I would like this. With these 2, you got to break it down.
You really do.
You got to break it down. So,
Mac 10, didn't he do some stuff for Mac 10?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge, he didn't. But I mean, like this. Okay, so if we go down the list, JD joint, and we're talking about, let's just say we're gonna do what? So Def only.
Fabulous. I think he did some joints for Fabulous, but so did Diddy.
Thank you, Miss Honey. Anthony Hamilton eats Carl Thomas lunch, bro. Like
Miss Honey, yo, I thought you was a rider, Miss Honey. Oh, Miss Honey.
I'm sorry, like, bro. It's just no way.
I think Emotional was a far better album.
I love that album, but it's just comparing it to. But yeah, I mean, in this situation, you're literally going to have to break them down into categories.
Because when I look at Carl Thomas's sophomore projects and follow-up albums after Emotional, they weren't all that good. That second album, it was okay. It was okay, but that first album, I could say the same thing about Anthony Hamilton. I don't think that his other albums after his first album was as good as his first album. Both of them had great first albums.
A lot of people. A lot of people that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people that way. But
did Fab. Yeah.
But as you see, Anthony Hamilton is still out on tour.
Yeah, that's true.
Hamilton still.
That's
so
true. That's true. Y'all might be right on that one. I ain't gonna argue with y'all too much on that one. In my opinion, I like Carl Thomas better as an artist.
But it's just that's what I'm saying. You with them, you just have to break them down into categories. And that's one of the main reasons why I think that the Verzuz will never happen.
This will be a very hard one.
It's gonna be more than 20 hits. Like that Verzuz will probably have to be a concert itself for like 3 hours.
It'll be a good one to have. But since a lot of the artists have already done Verzuz independently.
I know 112 and Jagged Edge did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Who do you think did their thing on that Verzuz? I mean, that should be easy.
Oh, that was 112. That wasn't even no damn competition.
Jagged Edge, they were drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jagged Edge was drunk.
They were drunk.
It was like, nah, bro. Like I'll put it like this: Jagged Edge had if you compare the two, Jagged Edge had more ballads than 112,
and they had more mainstream hits. Now 112 had good hits. They had dance records. They had
112 had a lot of mainstream hits too, though.
Yeah, but you got to think about Jagged Edge got songs that you can play at a wedding. I don't see any 112 songs at a wedding.
You can. They have some. You just there were cuts on the album that weren't released as singles.
Yeah. Jagged Edge has more of they got more love records. I mean, 112 did their thing too, but I will say this: the two, who do you think can make a better comeback right now, 112 or Jagged Edge?
112. Well, you know what? Matter of fact, now let me retract that. Neither, because for one, all of the members don't get along anymore.
Yep.
So I would say neither. Like, if they did, let's say they all did get along, I would probably go 112 if it was to come back. Because
better question is, who had more vocal talent, 112 or Jagged Edge?
Tie.
I agree.
You know what? No, 112. Because 112 had 3 people who could sing, which was Slim, Darren, and
Mike.
And Mike. Where 112, their main 2 was the twins.
Jagged Edge.
Yeah, I mean Jagged Edge. Yeah, Jagged Edge had the twins.
Yeah. And beyond the twins, I can't really see.
I don't remember the other 2 singing. Yeah. I don't remember the other 2 singing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember the other 2 singing.
Yeah.
I don't remember the other 2 singing. I mean, like I said,
now I do think that the Brat still has some shelf life left on her. I think she could come back and make a good comeback if she had the right production. I think she could. Total, I think they're done for.
I don't think Total's done, but I don't think the Brat can because of the current state of as far as female hip hop. I don't think she could. Because I mean, hell, look, Lil' Kim. In
comparison to what female hip hop is now, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look at Lil' Kim. She released something. She's been releasing music and it's been nothing.
She couldn't hold a candle to them girls right now. No. But in the era of Foxy Brown, Lil' Kim, the Brat, Missy Elliott, she held her own. I mean, they all did a song together. Not Tonight remix.
Yeah.
So I could all see them, but music is different now than versus what it was then. So it'll be hard for any of these artists really to come back and try to make a comeback because this era of music don't exist anymore. What we have on the radio now is nothing compared to what we came up on. I mean, we came up in a very unique time where music was it was everything.
It was diverse.
It was very diverse.
It was super diverse.
It was very diverse. And we grew up in a time where these artists kept you going back and buying more of their albums because you had the music videos, you had the shows like 106 in Park, and what was the joint that used to come on BET all the time after
It was 106
the
Park.
Storm?
Oh, okay. I'm talking about like Video Soul and all that.
Video Soul, yeah, you had all that stuff, so you constantly
Rap
saw
City.
these artists out here in front of you. Now we live in the world of streaming, you know, where we barely get music videos now, and you know the artists are not marketed the same way that they were marketed back then. So I have to give it to these artists that went platinum and triple platinum and double platinum or whatever. They had a lot of work to do because their music wasn't as accessible to everyone as it is now. You can go on YouTube and listen to this music now. You can listen to it on SoundCloud and all the different streaming, Pandora and all that. Back then, you had to go to Circuit City
Yep.
and get them CDs every Tuesday when
Goody.
they came out.
I remember all them joints. Sam Goody, Willie's, all them different joints. But that's what I mean. Like you just have to, you'll have to break it down. You'll have to break it down. Like I said, I'm still going Diddy just because of like his. Although, like I said, he was like DJ Khaled before DJ Khaled. His list is just too long, bro. Like it's way too long. You're talking about from Jodeci all the way up to now in 2022.
You're right about that, Miss Honey. You could actually turn on the radio and listen. Like I remember listening to the radio to like I went to sleep at night and hearing different songs. Now you listen, like for me, I have Sirius XM, and I'm finna cancel my subscription because they literally play the same songs in the
I've been
same
canceling my
order
joint
all
long
day,
ago.
all night long. Especially at night, man. A lot of these songs that we're talking about, how we knew about them is when we bought the albums and listened to them. But you will also get them, you know, like the Quiet Storm. When they used to play the Quiet Storm at night, whether it was on videos or whether it was on the radio, you heard other music from these artists from their albums other than what their mainstream hits were. Nowadays, you only hear what's on the charts from these artists. You don't hear other singles from their projects other than what's a hit. And that's frustrating. So I agree with you on that, Miss Honey. Without a streaming service or a subscription to Apple Music or Spotify, you ain't hearing this artist's work.
No.
Oh.
No, King Retro, you tripping, bro.
Yeah, you are.
No.
You are.
Tripping with that one, bro. I would never in a million years. I would never ever in a million years put Judge Blaze up against Primo.
Man,
that's not, matter of fact, that's not even in the same.
What are you talking about? Quiet Storm was the shit everywhere.
Yeah. Quiet Storm was shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would never do that. But I mean.
But yeah, we do need to think about what our next artist mashup is going to be. We wanted to give y'all some music or whatever, but you know how YouTube is with the copyrights or whatever. We were going to play some of the hits for y'all and let y'all be the judge. But I mean, my vote is with Diddy. It seems like a lot of the
people in the chat are saying JD.
Yeah, JD. But we gonna stand tall with Diddy.
That's Blaze. I agree with that, Mike Matt. I definitely agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I still say Just Blaze won that.
Yeah. Just
no King Retro. No, I wouldn't do that either. No. Primo will have to be somebody like Pete Rock.
Oh, now that would be nice.
It would have to be somebody like Pete Rock or somebody like from that era. Like, there is nobody, Miss Honey. I've had
You're
this.
Missy?
There's nobody. There's nobody.
Mm.
It's nobody. Her catalog is too long. Her catalog is way too long because if you take it outside, if she goes outside of her own music, it's a wrap.
It would probably, the closest that I could think of would probably be Lil' Kim, but she would still crush Lil' Kim.
She would crush it. That's why I said there's nobody. If Missy goes outside of her music, there's nobody because you have to think about all those hits that she wrote and produced for other people.
Man, and the artists that she brought along with her.
Between Aaliyah, Tweet,
702.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan. Oh man, Missy would be a hard act. That's a good one, Miss Honey.
That's why when everybody kept saying, "Oh, you know, Missy versus Busta," I kept saying that's a horrible matchup.
No, but I'll tell you what, it might be Timberland.
Nah, because Timbo was just a producer, really, though.
Yeah, that's true too. Missy is unmatched. I have to agree.
Unmatched. Missy is unmatched. It's several.
Somebody out there for.
I don't know who that person.
I don't know who it is. I got to think about it a little bit. We're gonna have to talk about that offline. But there might be somebody out there for Missy. I don't know.
But she just has way too many. Like I said, for
guess what King Retro just said. She got way too much. Missy is a force to be reckoned with. Yo, I don't know if there's anybody that's touching her.
Like this. No, Miss Honey. Definitely not Eve. Definitely not Eve.
No, Eve, please. She even did work for Eve. No, it's not Eve.
Said maybe Missy versus Jesus. That's the only closest person to her is Jesus, because there's literally nobody else.
Oh man. Now I'm curious. That sounds like a challenge right there, Miss Honey. No, Miss Honey, it's not Eve.
It's not, because
no,
you don't have another female hip hop artist, rapper out there. For one, like I said, the only way that would work, she would have to use just her music. If she goes outside of that for the stuff that she wrote and that stuff that she produced, it's a wrap, because she's produced stuff for Mariah, even written some stuff, helped Mariah written some stuff. You got Aaliyah.
Damn, I forgot about that.
Like I said, Tweet, Jasmine Sullivan. And that's just off the top of my dome. She has way too many. Mm-hmm. Like if she stepped out, she got way too many. It would not work. There's nobody. There would literally be nobody. All the stuff that she sung on
That's right. She sung on a lot of people's joints. Background, like on joints you wouldn't even think that Missy was on. Yeah.
Sung on them.
She was one of those artists. Mary J. Blige was too, though. Mary J. Blige was like that too, where she sung on a lot of people's tracks. Okay.
Saying she wrote for Eve. Yep. She helped write for Eve. That's what I'm saying. Hell, she wrote Eve and performed Eve theme song for a show.
Yep. Ooh, that's a good one. Missy might have to just be by herself.
By herself.
Like I said, the closest that will come to her will be Timberland, and I don't even think that he can hold a candle to her because of all her sideline projects besides her artist. Maybe we have to categorize it and just be her as an artist. And that's it.
Like that's probably, matter of fact, that's what we should have did with this one. We should have categorized it
as an artist, and
broke them down like in the like.
But they touched too many careers for us not to speak on that. I mean, they touched too many careers.
This one right here was tough. It was tough. I mean, like, if we literally sat up here and broke it down, we would be up here for like 2 hours or so. Like, it's too tough to do. I mean, it's way too tough to do. But I mean, like I said, overall, I would have to go Diddy. JD, though, you still can't. I still say JD is probably like the best person to give him a run for his money. I know Diddy wants Dre. No, because Dre didn't do a lot. Diddy, only reason why Diddy would win that because Dre didn't do a lot of R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Dre did a lot more hip hop. So that's why I was like, and he's another person, in my opinion, he's up there with Missy. As far as like hip hop, who you gonna put against Dre in hip hop, production wise? Please tell me, because I would love to know.
50 Cent.
Production wise, what hits has 50 produced?
Yeah, because outside of G Unit, that's pretty much it.
I mean, production wise, there's nobody Dre. There's nobody on Dre's level production wise. So
you're gonna have to go with a true producer. Like you're gonna have to go with a producer that's not an artist.
Missy's versus Mary J. You know what? I would like to see Mary J. See, that's another person that would be tough to
Faith
match up with somebody.
Faith Evans. It's Mary J and Faith Evans.
No, no, no,
They
no.
both came out around about the same time. They
It
both
wouldn't
got
matter.
around.
Mary J would murder Faith Evans.
I'm not so sure about that.
Mary, look them joints up. Mary J got way more hits than Faith Evans. She would murder her.
Mary J. Blige does have more hits in her earlier career. This new stuff that she's putting out, I ain't feeling that a little too much. But that was the 411 Mary. She did a lot of collabs too. Ooh, you're right. I have to say I don't think Faith could take Mary out.
Yeah, she could. King Retro, no.
She could compete. She could compete. Because there's a lot of joints where they sung on together background, Mary and Faith. So
she can definitely compete, but
Pharrell and Dr. Dre, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I still think Dre would take it though. I don't know if Pharrell
would take that.
Pharrell's a different type of. You got to get someone from Dre's era to compete with him. Pharrell's a different type of producer. And his work with the Neptunes and everything, that's a little bit different in comparison to Dr. Dre.
You cannot. You can't because Pharrell, for one, Pharrell has too many because for me, Pharrell will be more better against Timbaland because those are the only ones who have multiple hits outside of hip hop. They have.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Like they both got hits in hip hop, R&B, pop, so it would have to be them two.
Yeah.
Like if we're just going straight hip hop, nah. I still couldn't do Missy and Pharrell either. Mm-mm. I would think Pharrell would
I'd rather see Timbaland verse off with Missy than Pharrell.
I didn't say Dre was the best producer. I just said that hip hop wise, there's nobody out there who would give that man a run for his money.
I don't get him started because he'll start hollering about Kanye West.
Hell no. And I love Kanye production, but hell no. Compared to Dre, we're talking about going all the way back to NWA, all the way up to now with Kendrick Lamar. No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, Kanye wouldn't. No.
We'll find another mashup to talk to you guys about next week. I don't know what it's gonna be because y'all have given us some great ideas. So
yeah, man, y'all gave us a lot, and I'm still sitting up here trying to rack my brain thinking of more stuff between Diddy and JD.
Yeah,
I know, and it's gonna kill me because I know as soon as we finish, all the stuff is gonna pop in my head like it's gonna pop in my head like clockwork. Like, yo, we should have discussed that. We ain't even bring that up. It's just
King Retro was hollering about Nas and Jay-Z.
Man, that joint, it would be a 5-part show. Like, it's two different artists. I love them both though, but two different artists.
And they're both good, and they're both from kind of around about the same era. But I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself about that one before I get eviscerated over here.
But all right, so matter of fact, let's do this real quick before we even end it, bro. Okay, how long we been on here? All right, so I'm gonna go through So Def's biggest artists. So then that way we could compare. We're just gonna go strictly the labels. We're not going Mary J, Usher, all that. We just go straight the artist. So you got Criss Cross, you got Escape, you got Bow Wow, you got Franchise Boys, you got Young Bloods, you got Bone Crusher, you got 3LW, and that's it. So y'all heard that list.
Oh, that's funny.
Y'all want me to run that list again? I can run that list again. And if we go to Bad Boy, I'm sorry, and I forgot Jagged Edge. I forgot Jagged Edge. Edge. Y'all heard that list.
Yeah, I heard
the list.
Yep.
So if we go to Bad Boy, we can go to Bad Boy list. and I can run them all. Let's just run them all. So, Bad Boy. Oh dang, what happened to my? I must have clicked something wrong. Oh, there we go. So let's go to Bad Boys. We're gonna go to their biggest artists. You got Biggie, you got Faith Evans, you got Total, you got 112, you got Mace, you got the Locks, you got Black Rob, you got Shine, you got G Dep, you got Danity Kane, Carl Thomas. If you want to get technical, we could say Loon. If you want to get into right now, you could say French Montana, Janelle Monáe.
Day 26.
So, I mean, that's what I said. There's no comparison. Like, think about who joints. Like I said, if you look at just the roster alone, Bad Boy and So Def roster. Like I said, we're taking Mary J. Blige out. We're taking Usher out. We're taking Jodeci out. We're taking Mariah out. If you take those 4 people out,
I mean, then you want to talk about the chick from the Pussycat Dolls, Cassie, Sherry Dennis.
Yeah, but I mean, those kind of weren't like
they were Bad Boy artists.
Yeah, but I mean, they weren't that.
They weren't, but they had hits on the radio.
I mean,
it's Bad Boy.
It's
like, a landslide. It's Bad Boy.
Like, I mean, if you wanna,
you got the band. You got Fatty Cool.
Yeah, but it's like,
you got Fatty Cool. I mean, you got a lot. You got a lot of
boys in the hood.
Well, you went there with Danity Kane, so
I forgot about Young Jock.
Young Jock.
Dirty Money.
Sherry Dennis.
No
Dirty
Red.
Money.
Red Cafe ain't really had no hits. I mean, 8 Ball and MJG, but they was already legends by that point. Same way with New Edition, they was already legends by that point.
Yeah, and they were on Bad Boy South.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that should tell you enough right there, folks. Like,
yeah, it's Bad Boy.
That's what I said. It's Bad Boy.
It's
like
Bad Boy.
If we went into the other one,
Gina Thompson. Gina Thompson.
Oh shit, I forgot about. I don't think she was with Bad Boy though.
I think she was.
I think she was like. I think she was with Uptown.
She might have been with Uptown.
But see, that could go back to the Missy argument because remember Missy.
Nicole Ray was, I think, Missy.
Nicole Ray was Missy. Like I said, you could go to that. I'm definitely for that, Mike Mack. I'm definitely for that. Because
Just Blaze versus Swizz. Now that would be nice.
I'm for that because, like I said, I've gone back and forth with a lot of people that Just Blaze won that battle, and people tell me I'm crazy, but I could definitely go there for that. So I mean, we're gonna come with some more that makes sense. We're gonna come with some joints that actually make sense, not just, you know what I'm saying, like just random stuff like, you know, shoot, I don't know, like Death Row versus Rap a Lot or something like that. We ain't about to just
Rap a Lot
be coming out with just random verses and stuff like that. We're gonna come with joints that like actually make sense.
Yeah.
So like I said, overall,
we're gonna have to do a No Limit one too, because you know I'm a big No Limit fan, so we're gonna have to do a No Limit one.
We could do the No Limit one. I will. That No
I
Limit
know.
one. That might be a multi. That might be a part. But I mean, I don't know. With the exception of Cash Money, that will probably
which we've already done. Yeah, so it's gonna be hard.
Even though we did the Cash Money, we still do it. The versus No Limit. We only did. You know, the Rock and the Cash Money joint was based off of Lil Wayne's
comment. Yeah,
Lil Wayne comment.
So. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'll be back next week to talk about something. Good show. I mean, we got some good perspective from the chat tonight. So you guys, we appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us tonight. Drop down in the comments and give us some suggestions on what y'all want us to talk about next. What's your big group? We're still planning the TSF, Really Be TV, Miss Honey, Collabo, Juggernaut of Souls, holiday party / giveaway. So hopefully we'll announce that real soon, where we're just going to get together and get all our channels on, and we're all going to just hang out and have a good time. We're going to have some drinks, maybe do some games or whatever, some pop quizzes or whatever, give away some prizes or something like that. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight. Retro CG is sounded off. DJ Fresh, what you got for him, bro?
I don't have too much. Like I said, I appreciate the love. Like I told y'all folks, if we really went into death, however you say it right now, we would have been here.
Too much of that. 17.
Yeah, we would have been here for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Like,
we could still
trying to, we just trying to condense it for y'all. I know there's a lot of stuff that we probably missed, a lot of stuff we didn't touch. I'm sure y'all was thinking it like we didn't forget. It's just we trying to condense it into so much. But yeah, appreciate everybody came through, show some love, and everything. Like I said, like Retro said, we're gonna be bringing y'all some more. Like I said, that makes sense. Who knows? It might even go into outside of music. It might be actors, might be actor versus.
That's a good one.
Movie versuses. Or, you never know, comedian versuses. So,
before we tip up out of here, I'm curious about what the kicks of the day looking like. What you got on over there? Because I see we both rocking the same royal blue tonight. So I'm just curious if we rocking the same kicks tonight. Don't go trying to run and get no heat on me now.
Nah, we ain't rocking the same kicks. I was just trying, whatchamacallit. So
don't try to go get no heat on me now.
Nah, bro.
Okay.
I don't even know if my drinks.
Okay.
My camera's acting up where it's getting so bright, but how did I know? I should have known. I should have known. Should have known with the 14. I mean, like, it was another pair I was going to wear today, but
nice with the IEs though. Nice. I haven't seen them joints in a minute, and I'm an IE lover, so those are dope. I'm gonna have to borrow those from you. I'll take those from you. I'll take those off your hands.
Yep, 07.
Nice.
It's still good. So, but
all right, fam. Well, we will see you guys next week. Like I said, drop down in those comments and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Give us some ideas for what y'all want to hear us talk about next. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Salute.